Okay. Okay, it does record. Okay, nice. So today we're going to be doing a problem called cyclic sort. Pretty simple. It's guaranteed for an array of length n. The values in the array are always going to be 1 through n. Like as you can see in the examples, array of 6 values will have 1 through 6. Array of 5 will have 1 through 5. And then the restrictions of this problem is you want to do this in O of n time and O of 1 space. O of n time just means, it could scale for, however long it takes to get through the whole array. So basically, the length of the program can run for longer if the input gets longer, and the runtime for the program should get shorter if the list also does get shorter. O of 1 space means you will only use a constant amount of space per problem, regardless of how long the array ends up being. So we're going to be doing a while loop, and so we have to initialize the iterator in a sense outside of the code, while I is less than the length of nums. Pretty self-explanatory. We only want to go for as long as the array will allow us to go, otherwise we'll get an error. J is equal to nums I minus 1. This is to calculate the right index of the array, where the number should go. So for example, 3 belongs in index 2, right? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since it belongs at index 2, basically, if we're looking at the number 3 here, so because okay, we'll do it down here. I is equal to 0, right? Which means it belongs in index 2. So basically nums 2, right? So that's how we calculate this. We can take the same the same logic and use it on any number, right? So for 6, it belongs in index 5 because we want to add the last value, right? So if our I is 2 in this case, we get 6 minus 1 is 5. So we just want to make sure, is it in the right position, right? So here we're just checking to see if the number is in the right index, right? So simple check would be if nums I does not equal to nums j, then we want to make a swap here, right? Otherwise, I'll just do the else statement because it's a lot easier. I plus equals 1. So if it's in the right position, let's say this one. For I equals 0, we'll grab this one down here too. And so for I is equal to 0, right? We get nums I is equal to 0. And then we want 0, nums I is equal to 1 because I is equal to 0. So we want this to be an index 0, right? Because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically, the number that we have, we want it to be at index the number minus 1. So 1 minus 1 would be equal to 0, right? So in order to calculate j is equal to nums I minus 1. And then the arrow, if we substitute, j is equal to nums I is equal to 1 minus 1, which equals to 0, right? And so now we would just check i's, so j is equal to 0. And then now, if we do nums j, and j is equal to 0, we'll do nums 0, 0, then we see that it's also 1. And so nums I is also nums 0, right? So they're both equal to each other, then we know we can just move on with life. And we do that here. So in order to do the swap, we'll do something that we can do in Python, which is we can have a bunch of variables here, and as long as we give a corresponding amount of values at the end, we could we can assign them this way. And so typically in other languages, you would probably have to do three lines of code in order to like have a temp variable, and you store one, and then you do like a weird swap. But you know, in Python, we're allowed to do stuff like this. So this just makes life a lot easier. And now at the very end of the thing, we return nums because we are now done with the code. So I'll uncomment all of these test cases, go run. Okay, nope, maybe don't run it that way. Run Python file in terminal. So if we print cyclic sort of 5, 1, 2, 4, 3, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, here, we'll do this as well. Test case 1, comma, right? And we'll do the same thing here and here. We'll make this test case 2, this test case 3, just so you know, we can see that clearer. We'll close that. We'll run Python file again. Test case 1, where we pass 5, 1, 2, 4, 3. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 2, 6, 3, 1, 5, all out of order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here 3, 5, 6, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. And there we go. That is cyclic sort.